Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead, and I thought I would record my stories earlier today so that I would have those out of the way. I will post them a little later today, though. First one I'm going to do is another picture book. I love those. And this is called Arthur's April Fool. Now, usually I would read this around April. Have you ever had anybody pull an April Fool joke on you, or did you ever fool anybody? That's the day you try to trick them. It was the last day of March. The joke shop was full of people getting ready for April Fool's Day. Arthur and Buster tried out everything. Buster bought sneezing powder. Arthur got a fake telescope that gave whoever looked at it a black eye. But Arthur didn't feel like playing jokes. He was thinking about Blinky Barnes. Who is Blinky Barnes? Asked Buster. Picture King Kong. Now double it, said Arthur. He keeps threatening to punch me out. Well, that would be very worrying. Which do you like better? Funny eyeballs, I saw those before. Oh, bat ears. The next day, Arthur was practicing his magic tricks with Buster and Francine for the April Fool's assembly. Hey, shrimp! A giant shadow covered them. I'll show you a trick, said Binky Barnes. He grabbed Arthur's favorite pen and put it in his pocket. Now you see it, now you don't, said Blinky. Hey, watch it, said Arthur, trying to look brave. Why don't you make me, said Blinky, and walked away. Pick on someone your own size, called Francine, like Godzilla. Wow, said Buster. You were right. He's going to pulverize you. He is pretty big. That night at dinner, Arthur hardly ate anything. He didn't finish his cheeseburger. He didn't even want any chocolate cream pie. What's the matter, Arthur? Asked his father. He's worried about getting pulverized, said DJ. Maybe he's been watching too many outer space movies. See Arthur going up, said his mother. Book's falling apart. Later on, DJ barged into Arthur's room. Good night, Mr. Universe, she said. Haven't you ever heard of knocking? Asked Arthur. After you get pulverized, can I have your room? She asked. Beat it, DJ. When Arthur finally went to sleep, he had nightmares. Ooh, it's a scary one. And what about this one? Those are scary nightmares. Do you ever have nightmares? It's important to remember they're not true. The next morning, Francine offered Arthur a cookie. Yuck, said Arthur. This tastes like soap and toothpaste. April Fools, laughed Francine. But Arthur was too worried to laugh. I'll never remember my magic tricks, he said, for the assembly. Calm down, said Buster. I'll be your assistant. I'll help if you get stuck. Arthur felt better. He could count on Buster. But just before assembly, Buster got caught putting sneezing powder on Mr. Ratburn's desk. Instead of assembly, Buster got sent to the principal's office. Oh boy. He was in trouble. I'll blow it for sure without Buster, thought Arthur. He walked into the auditorium. That's a big room. Who was sitting in the front row? Binky Barnes. This was going to be even worse than he thought. Arthur worried while Mr. Ratburn read people's minds. He worried while Francine and Muffy did shadow tricks. And he worried while the chorus sang that old black magic. Finally, it was his turn. All of them were doing things. For my first trick, said Arthur, I need a volunteer. Binky Barnes jumped on the stage. Surprise, Peep Squeak, he whispered. Arthur gulped. Not exactly who he was hoping would volunteer. Arthur asked Binky Barnes to tear up a sheet of paper and put it in the magic hat. He said the magic words and waved his magic wand to make the paper whole again. But instead, rabbits came out. Everyone laughed. By mistake, flowers fell out of his sleeves. Binky Barnes laughed harder than anyone. Poor Arthur. Then Arthur had an idea. He winked at Francine. Just a second. For my next trick, I will saw this young man in half. Binky stopped laughing and took a step back. My saw, please, said Arthur. Binky turned pale. Now he's scared. And now to collect the blood, Binky screamed. Now to collect the blood, Binky screamed. He stepped back again, this time right off the stage. Everyone laughed, even Mr. Ratburn. After assembly, Arthur stopped Binky in the hall. What's the matter, Binky? You left before I could show you my best trick. No thanks, said Binky Barnes. Are you sure? It lets you see things you've never seen before, said Arthur. Really? Said Binky. He grabbed the telescope and pointed it at Francine. I don't see anything. Of course not, said Arthur. You have to know the secret words. Tell me, said Binky. I can't, Arthur explained. They're so secret I have to write them down backwards. Do you have a pen? Sure, here, said Binky. Arthur wrote the words. Now go home, hold the paper up to the mirror, and you'll be able to read the secret words. Thanks, twerp, said Binky as he ran out the door. Boy, that's your best trick yet, said Buster. You didn't get pulverized, and you made Binky Barnes disappear. What did you write? Asked Francine. April Fool. And look who has black circles around both his eyes. That was a good story. Well, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you always. And I want to tell you, I love you. I really do. But more importantly, God loves you. And He always will. Okay, bye-bye.